ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता शिविशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्द राधा कान्द नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनदारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसूक्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिलशक्तिधरस्वतनाम्नाम् अन्यां च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणां नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं जयदं सुहृदो पङ्गुर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पादाम्बुजो राधामदनमोहनो नमाधिदेवं करुणानिधानं कमालवर्णं सुहितावतारम् अपार संसार समुद्र सेतुं भजामहे भागवत स्वरूपम् परमानंद पाठाय प्रेमवर्षीय क्षराय दे सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोस्तुमे गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय ददारे कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो। हरे कृष्णा हरि ओम तत्सत्। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 3, text 36. सवाइदं विश्वममोघलीला सृजद्यवत्यत्ति न सज्जतेऽस्मिन् भूतेषु चान्तर्हित आत्मतन्त्र षड्वर्गिकं जिग्रति सद्गुणेशान्। सवाहिदं विश्वममोघलीला सृजत्यवत्यत्ति न सज्जतेऽस्मिन् भूतेषु चान्तर्हित आत्मतन्त्र षड्वर्गितं षड्वर्गिकं जिग्रति सद्गुणेश। माताजी प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। सवाइदं विश्वमोघलीला सुजद्वत्तिस्न सजत्यस्मिन् भूतेषु चान्दर्हिदा आत्मतन्त्रा षाडोर्घ्यं जिक्रति षड्गुणेश।
Very good. Prabhuji, translation please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Lord, whose activities are always spotless, is a master of the six senses and is fully omnipotent with six opulences. He creates the manifested universes, maintains them and annihilates them without being in the least affected. He is within every living being and he is always independent.
Hari Bol. The Lord, whose activities are always spotless, is the master of the six senses and is fully omnipotent with six opulences. He creates the manifested universes, maintains them, and annihilates them without being in the least affected. He is within every living being and is always independent. Okay, so the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, his activities are beyond the influence of the three modes of material nature. That's why it is said here, always spotless. We are within the clutches of three modes of material nature. Sattva, Raja, Tama. Okay, these are the three modes. we are influenced by the three modes. We are not guna atit. That's why we are not spotless. Lord Krishna is spotless. He is having only spiritual quality, not material quality. The three modes are material qualities. Tattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. Spotless quality is Shuddha Tattva guna, Vishuddha Sattvic, transcendental quality, spiritual quality. That's why his activities are always spotless. And any activity that we perform beyond the three modes of material nature in spiritual quality, that will not have any reaction. Our activities are within the three modes of material nature and it will have reactions. Whatever we do, if you are doing good activities, we will have good reaction. If you are doing bad activities, we'll have bad reactions. But the Supreme Lord and the pure devotees who are above the three modes of material nature, their activities are spotless and there is no reaction for their activity. They are neutral, no reaction, no good, nor bad. No, that's why they don't have dvanda also. What is dvanda? Opposites, good and bad, victory and defeat, okay? Hot and cold. These are all dvanda, all opposites. In this material world, we are experiencing that. Something good happens, immediately something bad happens. Okay? If we succeed in something, next time we'll be defeated also, or we'll have failure also. There are always dvanda in this material world. But the Supreme Lord and his pure devotees are beyond the duality and they are always spotless. And further, it is said here that he is the master of six senses. Panchendriya plus mind, that is six sense. Okay. And five knowledge acquiring senses. Ears, eyes, nose, tongue, and skin. Five knowledge acquiring senses. Above that is the mind. So he is the master. Who? Supreme Lord is the master of all the senses and is fully omnipotent with six opulences. He is having all the opulences in 100%. We all know what are the six opulences. Vivek Prabhu, what are the six opulences?
He forgot. I can't remember. Right now, can't remember.
I can hear you.
You have six opulences.
Yeah. What are those? What? Beauty.
Fame, wealth.
Yeah.
Was-
Beauty, wealth,
Yep.
strength, knowledge, renunciation, and what else? One more?
Fame.
Fame. Yeah. 100%. That's why it is said here is fully omnipotent. 100% yes. You know, nobody can possess more than the Supreme Lord. So he possesses all these six opulences in 100%. Not even Vishnu. Vishnu has only 93%. Lord Shiva has 84%. Brahma has 78%. In other words, 64 qualities. Krishna has 60 qualities. Vishnu has 55 qualities. Lord Shiva has 50 qualities. Lord Brahma has. So we all can maximum possess 50 qualities in minute quantity of
50.
these six appliances. So he creates the manifested universe.
So beauty, knowledge, fame, wealth, and then
Renunciation and
strength. Yeah, strength and renunciation.
so he creates the universes he maintains it, he annihilates it. So he is the generator, he is the operator, he is the destroyer. That's why he's God, G-O-D. Generator, operator, destroyer. Okay. Creator, maintainer, and annihilator. He does that. Either directly or indirectly. Either he does it directly or he engages his expansions or incarnations to perform these activities. A big industrialist, a big businessman need not be present in every department. He does not conduct the business himself. He authorizes his personal associates, confidential associates to run the business. Similarly, the Supreme Lord need not be present in every nook and corner of the world. He is present, but to manage the universal affairs, he has entrusted these jobs to his empowered incarnations. So he creates, maintains, annihilates through his different agencies. So Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he has authorized Vishnu to create. He has authorized Lord Brahma to recreate, subcreation. He has authorized Lord Shiva to annihilate. So that's why it is said here, he creates the manifested universes, maintains them, and annihilates them without being in the least affected. And he is not at all affected. When everything is created, before everything is created, he was there. When it is being created, he is there. When it is annihilated, still he is there. He is in the least affected. He is not affected by creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So before creation, he was there. During creation, he is there. After annihilation, he is there. He is not affected. He is within every living being and is always independent. He is having a feature that is all-pervasive nature. He is there in each and every living being as Paramatma. And he is always independent. Swarat. We are all dependent on something or somebody else. We cannot live alone here. Can we live without depending on other people, without depending on other than Mother Nature or other things? We need air to breathe. We need water. We need sunlight. Without these three items, can we live? Who has given this? Lord. So we are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. We need fruits. We need flowers. We need grains. We have to depend on nature. So we are not independent. Supreme Lord is independent. He doesn't require a second or third person for his satisfaction. We require other living entities. We require the products of the Mother Nature. Only then we can survive. Otherwise, we cannot survive. So we are dependent and interdependent. Not only we, all living entities are interdependent on one another. But
And also, Prabhuji,
yeah,
he is least affected because he knows that, we have born, we go back again, born likewise. Atma is like Vinashar, immortal. So that is why he is least.
He is least affected means he is not, although he is the master of all these universes, he is not in it. He is aloof from this. Although he is in this, he is not of this material world. He is in this material world, but he is not of this material world. He is beyond the three gunas. His quality is spiritual. And he was there before this creation was there. So he creates, he annihilates. So even after annihilation, he is still there. Before creation, he is still there. That's why he is least affected. From him,
Also,
everything is emanated.
that sloka is there, no Prabhuji? Nattang jatu nasang, nattang janadhiva,
Tatvevaham jatu nasham natvam neme jinadiva. Yes,
no chaiva, no krishna sarva
yes,
matavaram.
that's a slogan, right? Slogan.
That-
You are there, you and we all are there, we will be there. We will be never destroyed. Only the body is destroyed. Okay? The
Correct.
soul doesn't get affected. So from that perspective, yes, right. So the prime difference between the Lord and the living entities is that the Lord is the creator and the living entities are all created. Okay? So what's the prime difference between Lord and us? He is the creator. We are created beings. He is creator. We are created beings. Here is called the Amogha Leela, which indicates that there is nothing lamentable in his creation. Amogha, nothing lamentable. Those who create disturbance in his creation are themselves disturbed. He doesn't do anything. We create our own disturbances, our own problems. It's not Lord who puts us in problem. Because of our ill doing, we have to suffer. So we are the cause of our own disturbances. Lord is not responsible for that. Okay? If the child is not studying well, who is responsible? Child or the teacher or the parents? Child, because child is not studying well. Similarly, the Lord also is not putting us into any difficulties. It is we who causes difficulties for ourselves. That's why it is said here, those who create disturbance in his creation are themselves disturbed. He is transcendental to all material afflictions because he is full with all six opulences, namely wealth, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. And thus he is the master of all the senses. So he is the master of all the six opulences and is the master of all the senses. He creates these manifested universes in order to reclaim the living beings who are within them suffering threefold miseries, maintains them, and in due course annihilates them without being the least affected by such actions. So what is the purpose behind this creation? Why he has created these material universes? The purpose behind that is to reclaim us, the fallen conditioned souls like us. Because just like we are now in the ocean without any shelter, the boat in which we are traveling is sinking. Okay, the boat in which we are traveling is sinking. Who can save us? A person who is an expert swimmer or another boat can come and save us. Isn't it? Similarly, we're all drowning in this material ocean. So he has created these material universes so that we can be saved after our so-called enjoyment in this material world. We wanted to separately enjoy from Krishna without giving him the credit as the Supreme Lord. We want to enjoy separately from him. So he has created these material universes, but with the intention of reclaiming us back to his abode, where we don't have to undergo the threefold material miseries. Which are the threefold material miseries?
Adidevik, Adibhautik.
Yes.
Adibhautik.
Adhyatmic, Adibhautik, and Adidevik. So he is saving us. on, let's go home. When children are wandering here and there outside, without knowing the value of their parents, without knowing their comfort that they can enjoy in their house, they are wandering for want of food, for want of shelter, for want of clothing and other things. If they are taken back home and supplied all the necessities, how much they'll be thankful to the parents, isn't it? Similarly, we are all wandering this material world, struggling for existence. So Supreme Lord has created this material world in such a way that we have to go back home, back to Godhead. Because this place is called Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, a place full of miseries and temporary. That's why this place is not very, what you call, giving happiness. It's not blissful. Every step there is danger. Every moment there are miseries attacking us. Sometimes we may get some material happiness, but that is only flickering. Immediately after happiness, there will be miseries. So that we'll think of Krishna and we'll find a way to go back home, back to Godhead. So these universes are created in such a way that we don't want to stay here, but we want to go back home, back to Godhead, where we will not have to suffer the threefold miseries. And plus, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. That's what Krishna says here. He is connected with this material work creation very superficially, just like a lotus on the muddy water. So where is the lotus? We'll say it is in the muddy water. But is it connected to the mud? It stays aloof, isn't it? Although it is in the muddy water, it stays aloof. It is not at all affected by the mud or by the dirt. Similarly, Lord is there in this material world, but he is not affected in the qualities of the material world or in the complexities of this material world. So he is here superficially. He is here superficially. As one smells odor without being connected with the odorous article. Just like there's a fragrance coming from a flower. We are not in direct contact with that flower, but we get the fragrance through the air. We can smell that fragrance. So that's what Prabhupada says. It's connected with the material creation very superficially, as one smells odor without being connected with the odorous article. Non-godly elements, therefore, can never approach him despite all endeavors. So non-devotees cannot approach him. How much ever you try, it's not possible. So that's what this sloka says. So he is the spotless master of senses. He creates, maintains, annihilates, and he wants to take all of us back home, back to Godhead. That's why he has created this material universe in a way that is not palatable for our living. That's not conducive for our living. We'll get fed up. Every step there is danger. Every moment there is problems. Is there any moment that passes without any problem? Our mind is always churning. How to solve this problem, how to solve financial problem, how to solve family problem, how to solve children's problem, health problem, neighbor's problem. Now, every moment our mind is always thinking of finding out solutions to mitigate our problems. So that's why we want to go back home, back to it as soon as possible to get out of these problems. Okay, so any questions or any comments?
Prabhuji, instead of creating this creation,
Yeah.
if you want to give the because Maybe we have done something, that's why we have been taken birth on this material world.
We have turned our
So-
face from Krishna. That's what we have done. Okay, we were with Krishna, but we turned our face. Okay, we were like this, Krishna and we. Now I have turned my face from Krishna. I wanted to enjoy independently. I wanted to be the Lord. I wanted to be the master. I wanted to be the proprietor, controller, Isha. Okay. Isha mana syndrome. What syndrome I have? I want to be the Lord. I want to be the center of attraction. I want to be the boss. When I developed that, I am given this place to enjoy. But after coming here, I understood this place is not meant for gentlemen. This a place full of miseries and temporary. As soon as possible, I have to quit from here. Because otherwise we are kicked left, right, and center by Maya every now and then. We have to undergo these problems. It is we who have created this disturbance for ourselves. Lord Krishna has only given us a platform to enjoy separately from Krishna, because that is what we wanted. Now that I don't want to stay here, he has given another platform to go back home, back to what that is the scriptures. So following the scriptural injunctions, following in the footsteps of Mahajanas, we can attain our original house, original home. Is it okay, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Anything else, Mataji?
No, Prabhu.
We'll go to the text 37. न चास्य कश्चिन्निपुणेन धातुर् अवैधि जन्तुकुमनीषऊति नामानि रूपाणि मनोवचोभिः सन्दन्वतो नत चार्यमिवज्ञः न चास्य कश्चिन्निपुणेन धातुर् अवैधि जन्तुकुमनीषऊति नामानि रूपाणि मनोवचोभिः सन्दन्वतो नाट्यचार्यम इवज्ञः. Okay, Prabhu and Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Na chaso kaschinni punena dhatu keti jantu. What is this one? Keti jantu kumonisha uti namami rupani manobodhyobhi santarpanto nata charcha vibhajaha.
Very good. Mute on Mataji.
The foolish with a poor fund of knowledge cannot know the transcendental Prabhu.
Nature of
കാണാൻ
the,
പറ്റില്ല. Nature of
the forms.
forms, names and activities of the Lord who is playing like an actor. Who is play.
In the drama.
Wait a minute, 1 minute. The foolish with a poor fund of knowledge cannot know the transcendental nature of the forms, names, and activities of the Lord, who is playing like an actor in a drama, nor can they express such things neither in their speculation nor in their words.
Okay. So what it is said here that the foolish with a poor fund of knowledge cannot know the transcendent nature of the forms, names, and activities of the Lord, who is playing like an actor in a drama, nor can they express such things neither in their speculations nor in their words. Even Kunti Maharani also says the same thing. What Kunti Maharani says, Yes. Maya Javanika Channam Atnyadokshajam Abhyayam Na Lakshate Moda Drisha Nato Natyadharo Yatha. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are eternally irreproachable factor, covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. So, an actor who is participating in a drama, okay, he is coming as a doctor or as a policeman or a dacoit, okay, or a man dresses like a woman dresses like a man. Can we recognize them when they come in different forms, disguised forms? We don't. Similarly, the Lord is also as an actor, disguised. So we don't, the fools especially, not the devotees. The fools, the non-devotees, because of poor fund of knowledge, they don't understand that Krishna is the Supreme Person. Exactly just how Duryodhana and other parties could not recognize Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Isn't it? They could not recognize. Just like an actor in the disguised form cannot be recognized by his own people. Okay, suppose husband is taking part in a drama in a disguised form, the wife may not recognize, oh, is this my husband? Later, after the dresses are changed, the original form is retained. Is this my wife? Is my brother, the son? So the Supreme Lord is also playing that part of a drama as an actor. So unfortunately, the non-devotees cannot recognize him, nor can they express such things, neither in their speculation nor in their words. So they cannot understand his position as a Supreme Lord, even in their speculation. It is not possible. So that's why Krishna, even if he comes, people will not be able to understand him. Devotees can understand him from the scriptures. They will be able to understand him from his superhuman activities as given in the scriptures. So if someone comes as an avatara, if the Lord comes as an avatara, it should be substantiated by the scripture. We cannot accept anybody as an avatara. Lord Krishna or Vyasadeva has given the symptoms how we can recognize an avatara. What are the symptoms of an avatara? How we can recognize an avatara? Who is an avatara? When he comes, for what purpose he comes? What are the slogas that can be substantiated to understand avatara? So only on that basis we can agree. Simply somebody says he's an avatara, we cannot agree. So we can keep on speculating for ages, but will not be able to understand who the Lord is. Unless and until we study the scriptures under the bona fide spiritual masters in the bona fide sampradaya. So no one can properly describe the transcendental nature of the absolute truth. Therefore, it is said that he is beyond the expression of mind and speech. Can we describe the absolute truth? No. It's beyond our comprehension, beyond our capacity of logic and understanding. With our senses, with our mind, with our intelligence, we cannot understand him. And yet there are some men with a poor fund of knowledge who decide to understand the absolute truth by imperfect mental speculation and faulty description of his activities. But still, some people are trying to understand the Supreme Lord with their tiny intelligence, imperfect mental speculation. It's not at all possible. Only by the mercy of Krishna, by the mercy of Guru, that we can understand the Supreme Lord to the extent it is required to understand, not fully. Nobody can understand the Supreme Lord fully. Even the Lord himself cannot understand him. It's really contradictory. It may seem contradictory, isn't it? Even the Supreme Lord cannot understand him. It's of
Even
course.
Prabhuji, even Prabhuji, we also cannot understand us.
Yeah. Supreme Lord can understand us, but Supreme Lord cannot understand himself. The opulence are increasing in such a way, even he is sometimes, oh, am I so beautiful? When Krishna saw his own form in the mirror in Dwaraka, oh, who is this boy? Very beautiful, very nice. I want to embrace him. It's a part of Leela. Anyway, so sometimes he also gets confused. Who is this boy? He himself is seeing it in the mirror or on the floor, which is just like a mirror. So that is his opulences. So how can a poor person with poor fund of knowledge can try to understand with their imperfect senses? That's the question. To the layman, his activities, appearance, and the disappearance, his names, his forms, his paraphernalia, his personalities, all things in relation with him are mysterious. Everything related to Supreme Lord. If we tell others who doesn't believe in God, these are all mythological stories. This is not real, they will say. They will not believe it. So anything related to his name, form, qualities, pastimes, these are all mysterious for non-devotees. There are two classes of materialists, namely the fruity workers and the empiric philosophers. Who are the fruity workers? Karmis. And empiric philosophers, jnanis. So after being frustrated in fruity activities, turn their faces towards the absolute truth and try to know him by mental speculation. Okay, so the karmis, after they are totally frustrated, then they will turn to the jnanis. They will do mental speculation. And for all these men, the absolute truth is a mystery, as the jugglery of the magician is a mystery to children. You know how the magicians are, what you call, surprising the children with their magics. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is also surprising us with his supernatural activities, just like
ഹരികൃഷ്ണപ്രഭു ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് ഇപ്പൊ വരാം കേട്ടോ. ഹരികൃഷ്ണപ്രഭു ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് ഇപ്പൊ വരാം.
No. Just like Professor magician Sarkar from Calcutta, right? A great magician. Have you heard of his
PC Sarkar Prabhuji.
PC Sarkar?
PC Sarkar was senior and junior. Means his father was also magician,
Yeah,
junior
both,
also magician.
yeah, both are
Then
magicians.
his
They're
daughter also magician.
very, very great magicians.
Actually, I have seen his house. I mean, it was very close to my office one day. I have seen.
Yeah. So we'll get amazed how they are doing this, isn't it? So if a mortal being can surprise, do such magics and confuse people, so what to speak of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Ujjala Nilamani Kana. Okay. He has given a very good story. Okay. It is just like that. There was a king, for his pleasure, he used to invite magicians from different parts of the world for his own enjoyment, for the enjoyment of his prajas. So once in a while, he used to, invite magicians from different parts. So one day, a magician was called. So he came with his whole family, himself, his wife, and his 2 kids. So they were supposed to perform the magic. So whatever infrastructure was needed for performing the magic, it was, prepared, and the king, the queen, ministers, all the assembly were ready to witness the magic. So the magicians, mainly the husband and wife, they tied a string or a rope to 2 poles. And the wife on that rope has to ride a bicycle. Okay. She was blindfolded. She has to ride a bicycle on that rope, which is tied to 2 poles. And the husband with a drum is playing, to that music. She was dancing on the bicycle, blindfolded, and going from one end to other end. So people, especially the king and queen, were so happy seeing this stunt. The children are down, father is drumming, and mother is riding the cycle, blindfolded, dancing to the tune of the drum that the father plays or the husband plays. So the public was very, very astonished. King and queen, they were very much impressed by this stunt. Okay. After the show, she came down, and it is time for the king to give Paridoshikam, Upahar. King was so much impressed. The queen was more impressed than the king. So she immediately took her very valuable, precious gems necklace and gave it to that lady. So happy, very precious, very valuable. Immediately, the moment she got it, the children who are there, okay, the elder one snatched it from her. It is for me. It's for me. Snatched it and started running. And behind that, the younger one started running. He caught hold of him and started fighting for that. Why an elder brother should enjoy it? I should. It is for me. The younger one must. So they fought each other, and they had knife. So the elder one stabbed the younger one. He died. Because the younger one died, he was so scared. He stabbed himself. He also died. So both the children died. And seeing this, the father, what's the use of my living now? He stabbed himself and died. And mother said, I am all alone. There's no point of me living. There's nobody. So she also stabbed and died. All the 4 died. So it was for a leisure or for a fun, for enjoyment. It has become a totally miserable scene there. All the king, the queen, all the people, the ministers, they were so sad. They wanted to have a very nice, enjoyable evening, entertainment. But then this has become such a miserable condition. So what to do? It has already happened. Nothing can be undone. So they arranged for the funeral. So the ministers did the necessities. They cremated all the 4. All the four are created there in front of all the public. And it was few days, it was totally sad for all of them. They were not in good mood because such a tragedy happened in their kingdom. So they were not in very good mood. So few days passed. The king is getting a letter from one person, unknown person. So in that letter, he opened and read, "My dear sir, 10 days back we had come there and we had performed some magic. You gave a very precious necklace to my wife. We are all participants of the magic, but only she got the gift. What about me and my children? You did not give us." He was surprised. Who has written this letter? It is as if the magician himself has written. But he died and we have cremated him. Then there was address. From address is there in the letter. So immediately he arranged the ministers to go and find out who is the person written and where they are living. To find out all these details, he sent his ministers. So ministers sent, and when he reached the village where this letter was posted, he saw the house, and to his surprise, he is seeing that magician who performed the magician with his wife and two kids playing in the garden. It was totally amazed. He immediately came to the king and informed, "My dear king, this magician and the family are alive. They're not dead." The king could not believe. He came himself to the village and he saw with his own eyes the magician is there, the wife is there, the two kids are there. He invited them back and gave them. So this was the magic performed by this family. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling, a mortal being can make or perform such a magic. So what to speak of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the master, proprietor, controller of all the universes, all the creation, both spiritual and material worlds. So this is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. Who can believe that they themselves have cremated? So this is a magic that they have done. So sometimes we are so amazed by the mortal magicians that we are ready to believe. But the Supreme Lord, his creation, just see his creation. See, if you just see the, what do you call it? That National Geography, that channel, the aquatics that live in the water, how many types of living beings are there? Amazing living entities. These are all created by the Supreme Lord. And we say that there is no creator for such living beings. We say, people say, automatically coming and going. Such precise engineering, such precise creation, no flaw. Isn't it? And some Gnostic says there is no God, there is no creator. If there is a creation, there should be a creator. Such a beautiful creation. Even the material world, the nature, you just see the flowers, you see the birds, see the flies. So beautiful it is. And that we say that it's all automatically happening. No creator. So this is this, although it's a story, but it's really eye-opening. So where we have stopped? The mental speculators are a little more progressive than the gross materialist or the fruity workers, but because they're also within the grip of illusion, they take it for granted that anything which has form, a name, and activities is but a product of material energy. So, better than the karmis are jnanis. Better than the jnanis are yogis. Better than the yogis are bhaktas. Okay. Bhakti is a culmination of all other paths. Okay. So even the jnanis, the fruitive workers, they think that everything is a product of Maya, including the Supreme Lord. So Maya is the origin. Supreme Lord is the product of that Maya. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya adhyakshena prakriti. Under my supervision, this prakriti, this Maya is functioning. So how can he be subjugated by Maya? He is the master of Maya. He is not under the clutches of Maya. But the Jnanis, the impersonalists claim that Lord Krishna is a product of Maya. That is what it is mentioned here. A product of material energy. For them, the Supreme Spirit is formless. Yes, it has no material form. That's why whenever in some slokas it is mentioned that he is formless, we have to understand that he has no material form. He has a spiritual form. Nameless. He has no material names. He has a spiritual name. His name and he himself are identical, non-different. Our name and ourselves are not identical. Water, the name, water, the substance are not identical. Krishna, the name, Krishna, the person are identical. That's what. So that's why when we utter Krishna, Krishna comes and dances on our tongue. When we utter water, how many times we are not going to quench our thirst? Because both are different. Water, the name, and water, the substance. Simply by uttering the name of Lord Vishnu or Krishna or Rama, we get purified because there is no difference between the Nama and the Nami. That the impersonalist does not understand. With such a poor fund of knowledge, there is no access to the real nature of the Supreme Being. Okay? So they don't have the real knowledge, the karmis nor the jnanis. That's why they say the Lord has no quality, the Lord has no form, the Lord has no attributes. Like that they will say. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is always in a transcendental position, even when he is within the material world. Even though he is in the material world, he is not of this material world. He is not matter, he is spiritual. To our material eyes, he may appear to come in the material form just for us to see him. But he is spirit, he is not matter. But ignorant men consider the Lord one of the great personalities of the world, and thus they are misled by the illusory. So some people think him to be a great personality, but still they will not agree him to be the supreme personality. Why? Because they are under the clutches of illusionary energy, that is Maya. Maya allures us. Maya puts the curtain before us so that we won't be able to see what is what. So if you want to see what is what, experience what is what, then we should get the mercy of the Supreme Lord or his pure devotees. And for that, we should have a firm and unflinching faith and Shraddha in the Supreme Lord's existence. Otherwise, it's not possible. Okay. 9:30. So any questions? Any questions or any comments? Okay, I'll stop the recording, then we can discuss. Vancha kalpatarubhesya kripa sindhubheva cha patidanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavati ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Go friend. Hari Hari Bol. Okay, I'll stop sharing. Hare Krishna.